From the very first day Donald Trump descended that golden escalator in Trump Tower to announce his candidacy in 2015, Hollywood's elite, the mainstream media, and the U.S. political establishment declared war on him. At that moment, an unapologetic billionaire, free from political strings, unafraid to speak his mind, and with no allegiance to the system, became the greatest threat to the machine that has always kept Washington and American culture under control. From that day forward, the media's sole mission was to destroy Trump. He was labeled racist, misogynistic, fascist, xenophobic, crazy. With every controversy, the press declared it was the end of his political career. But something unexpected happened. The American people didn't buy the narrative. Even under relentless 24-hour attacks, Trump won the 2016 election. He governed, delivered results, strengthened the economy, cut taxes, and controlled immigration. But in 2020, the establishment plotted his downfall. With an election full of irregularities and a media that silenced any objections, Trump was removed. But he never stopped fighting. And then came 2024. Against all odds, Trump won again. The American people could no longer tolerate economic disaster, skyrocketing crime, and a migrant crisis caused by the Democrats. Now, in 2025, he's back in the White House. But the war against him has never been fiercer. Hollywood, the media, and Washington's bureaucrats refuse to accept his return. But why? Because Trump broke the illusion. He exposed the game, revealed the hypocrisy, and committed the one unforgivable act against the system. He governed for the people, not the elites. For decades, Hollywood has become a progressive indoctrination machine. The culture of political correctness has infiltrated movies, TV shows, music, and industry awards. Everything was designed to push a narrative. Democrats are the heroes, Republicans are the villains. Trump is the monster. What was once subtle became blatant during Trump's presidency. Actors and directors turned award shows into anti-Trump rallies. Singers and influencers used their platforms to spread hysteria. Entire movies and TV series were created just to demonize him. Meryl Streep attacked Trump at the Golden Globes. Robert De Niro screamed "F Trump" at events. Netflix, HBO, and Disney embedded anti-Trump political messages into their productions. Even comedians turned their shows into anti-Trump hate campaigns. But while actors and directors delivered rehearsed speeches about democracy and inclusion, the very Democrats they defended were destroying the U.S. with inflation, uncontrolled immigration, crime, and corruption. Now, with Trump back in power, Hollywood's panic has reached new heights. Movies and TV shows have ramped up their political messaging. Actors are now calling for boycotts against Trump, while directors and screenwriters have begun comparing his return to a dictatorial coup. But the truth is, Hollywood fears Trump because he is dismantling their cultural dominance. He has already begun cutting tax incentives for studios that promote political agendas. New regulations are being implemented to prevent ideological indoctrination from reaching children. And Hollywood's billionaires know their ideological empire is crumbling. If Hollywood creates the narrative, the mainstream media spreads the lie. Since Trump's first term, major news outlets have abandoned real journalism to become the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. CNN, the New York Times, and MSNBC spent years fueling hysteria against Trump. The Russian interference hoax was repeated endlessly. The Ukraine case and the baseless impeachment were framed as the scandal of the century. Hunter Biden's laptop scandal was censored to protect Joe Biden. Now in 2025, the media should admit they failed, that the people didn't buy their lies, but instead they doubled down. Now, everything Trump does is labeled authoritarian, dangerous, a threat to democracy. The same outlets that ignored Biden's corruption, economic destruction, the migrant crisis, and surging crime now pretend that Trump is America's greatest danger. They cannot allow Trump to rebuild the U.S. Because if Trump proves the country can thrive without their agenda, the power of traditional media will vanish forever. Trump isn't hated just because he's a Republican. He is hated because he cannot be controlled. He isn't part of Washington's lobbying schemes. He owes nothing to Wall Street bankers. He doesn't bow to big tech billionaires. That's why the ruling class did everything to remove him from power. But that wasn't enough. They had to make sure he would never return. That's why they used censorship, lawsuits, and even political arrests against him. But guess what? They failed. Trump remains the most powerful political force in the US. Millions of Americans see him as the only chance to save the country from the collapse caused by the Democrats. Hollywood, the media, and the system can keep spreading lies, but the people have woken up. Now, they know they can't stop Trump. Trump is back in the White House, but the war against him rages on. What he inherited from the Democrats is not just a nation in crisis, it's a ticking time bomb ready to explode. The wrecked economy, uncontrolled immigration, rampant crime, and institutionalized corruption are the true legacies of Biden and his failed administration. Now the media, Hollywood, and the political elite pretend that Trump is the problem, while doing everything in their power to prevent him from rebuilding the United States. Every action he takes is distorted, every success silenced, because they know that if he restores the country, the lie they sustained for years will collapse once and for all. The attacks against Trump aren't just coming from the Democrats. The entire establishment is mobilized against him. The mainstream media, which spent 4 years covering up Biden's failures, now dedicates every headline to smearing Trump. Hollywood, which has become a factory for progressive indoctrination, intensifies its hate-filled rhetoric, while globalist billionaires fund campaigns to discredit him. They refuse to accept that the American people chose him again, because it means their influence is crumbling. The truth is, they don't fear Trump. They fear what he represents. A government that cannot be bought. But reality can no longer be hidden. Democrat-run cities remain overrun with crime, inflation continues to weigh on working families, and the immigration crisis worsens by the day. While they try to paint Trump as the great villain, Americans are suffering the real disaster left behind by the Democrats. Every new Trump policy, to secure the border, cut taxes, and restore law and order, is branded by the media as extreme, because they know that if he succeeds, it will become clear that the collapse of the US was deliberately orchestrated by those who always claimed to fight for the people. The battle is now clear. Either Trump wins and America is restored, or the system sabotages him and destroys the country for good. They have already tried to silence him, sue him, imprison him, and eliminate him politically, and they failed. But they won't stop. New accusations, investigations, and smear campaigns are already being prepared to wear him down. They cannot accept that the White House is no longer in their control, and they will do anything to take it back. Trump knows this, but he is not alone. The American people have proven it by bringing him back, and now they play a crucial role in this fight. If you believe the truth must be told, share this video, spread this message, and strengthen this battle. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave your comment. Your voice is part of this resistance. They want to silence the truth, but the truth always finds a way to win. America's future is at stake, and the time to act is now.